There we are. We are live. Naida.
Hey, hey.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Hold on just a second. I'm going to go on
Hey,
Facebook
everybody.
and make sure that we are live on here. I'm going to share it real quick. There we are. I'm going to share. And so, oh, I'm on the wrong page. So anyway, guys, thank y'all for tuning in to Hits and Heels. It's Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, like clockwork. Every Wednesday night, I log on Hits and Heels on my podcast. Thank y'all for coming on. Tonight's guest is my girl Nietta Gerton, and she
Hey.
is a legend here in Lexington, Kentucky. And so I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna wait. I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself. Let her tell y'all everything she do, because I couldn't write everything down because she wears so many hats. Naida, go
Yes.
ahead, girl. Tell the world
Yes, I
who you
wear so
are.
many hats. I'm a teacher, first of all. I teach at Bryan Station High School. I teach job skills, and I get my students from high school and get them out into the workforce and just let them know that no matter whatever they're going through, they can surpass whatever it is, but they just need the skills and the resources to get it. That's how I make my bread and butter. But also, a lot of you all know I've been teaching swimming forever and a day, which I'm hoping that we'll talk a lot about. And I've been teaching that since I was in my 20s and started certifying and getting into teaching the basics of swimming in my 20s and getting certified. And then moving on to learning how to teach water fitness and how it's really changed my life as I've gotten into be that wonderful age of 62. Yes,
Yes,
62,
go ahead,
and
looking good at 62.
loving it because I don't have any aches and pains other than I've got bad feet. Some people are dealing with back pains and different things. I don't take any medicine. I'm constantly, moving, like I said, and making sure that I get my Saturdays in because that's me time. I get to run in the water, I get to swim, I get to leave all my problems there, and I don't have stress, diabetes. I don't have any of those things because I make sure I get in the water and work out my body to its 110%. I get to run full range of motion, no pressure on the joints or anything. And it's just a wonderful experience. And then I get to teach it. I get to scream and yell and sing. And to see my beautiful people at the Y and all over in the community in the summertime. And then I teach a little tumbling on the side. I still do that because I still see some of my babies and I got to work with some of them. And then I left, upgrade. So I'm back with upgrade a little bit, working with Mary Hughley at upgrade and whatever she needs when she needs tumbling and a little bit of some twerking, some things I need to twerk with the kids, get their body positions open and, everything, together with the older kids. And then I work with the younger kids. What else do I do? I'm forever in the community working with Lace Shop. Love working with them because,
Man,
oh, wasn't that awesome?
man.
That
I could
gala
talk
was
about
the
lace shop all
best.
day. Yeah, I could talk about lace shop
Yes.
all day.
And we had a ball because I got to actually escort Miss Coach shoot, I can't think of her name now. Did you said it?
Walter,
Coach,
Don Walter,
she wasn't my coach, but she is my coach. I
Don
wasn't
Walter.
good enough to be a track star. Yeah. And so she was shoot, can't think of her name. My mind
Oh,
went blank. That's what
Reba,
happens when you get older.
Reba Woodall.
Miss Reba Woodall. I got to escort her up there. And the lady still knew my name. I really should have been one of those throwers or something like that because I have a lot of good upper body strength, but lower body, I can't run worth the darn. I can't pass a baton, can't move my legs fast enough. But I was good in strength and conditioning, so I really should have did that with her. But
Mhm.
when I got to escort her up there, I was like, oh my God, this is honor. I was so honored to be able to escort her because she did so much with the kids at
Mhm.
on that track team. They were truly a team.
Mhm.
And it was just one. I got to see my cousin Juan Stout, and we got to, talk to him about his kids, and you just got to and shoot Leslie, and it was just good to seeing a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a while. BB, We got the back there. I got the pictures. Put myself in there with BB and Chris and Leroy Bird, and and then I missed my boy Turp. So we really had it, because I used to cheer for Turp and Leroy at the same time. So
Right.
it was just wonderful with just seeing all the people there. And it was just, and then the award service, just where they wore the white gloves. Oh man, that just sets the tone. It just gets better. It's only gonna get better. So you got to come next year, because we're gonna have a whole new set of people.
I was
Whole
there. I
new
got there
set.
late, and I didn't get to see you because I had got there late, because I had went to my son's game in
Yes.
Nashville, and so
Yes.
they were just starting with um uh the new era.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I think when I got there, and so I caught all of them when they were going up. So yeah, but
Yeah, I
I
seen a
missed all the
shadow
beginning.
you, and then I couldn't get to you. And I thought,
Right. I
well,
thought I saw it. But
yeah.
yes. So okay, so how did you get what got you started in all, like, what catapulted you into, did you start off at cheerleading? Like where did all of your health and athleticism stuff start
Okay, my
from?
brothers played tennis.
Oh
All of my
wow.
brothers played tennis. And I was a girl. And I had to sit outside the fence, Terry, and watch them play tennis, because I was a girl and because I was black. If I was a black boy, they had a grant with UK, and I think it's Dr. Beck, and he would let me play one day. I think out of all the years of playing, I played one day with him. And because I was a girl, I couldn't play. So that made me have the love. My first love was tennis, because I wanted to get out there and play with the boys. Now I ended up beating all them boys that played, and they were like, "Oh my God," they
Of
would let me. I
course.
was never good enough to play, so I always sat outside on the outside of the fence, because couldn't get in on the inside.
Mm.
But my brother Jojo, he was the one that taught me how to um, play a backhand, because I had an awesome backhand. I have a backhand that was spin. And so
Mm-hmm.
you think the ball was coming, and then it would be spinning the other
You
way.
just
So
fell off and
he never did. Yeah, he never did. He never did change that stroke, which really helped me when I got to playing in high school. Because I was the first seeded Bryan Station playing in high school. But I played by myself on that backboard. Would ride my bike to Woodland, from St. Martin's Village to Woodland, to go and play with somebody on the tennis court. So that was my first love, is tennis.
Oh my God. That is like an
Yes.
amazing story. I had no idea. Like I
And
had
no,
no idea. Right.
yeah.
And so where has that catapulted you, as far as, like, so you ended up, you coach cheerleading. So
I
what made
coached
you
cheerleading.
not go into coaching like tennis as
Well, I
much as
did.
you
I,
love
I
tennis?
I did tennis before
Okay,
I did
good.
cheerleading, because when I got out of high school, um, little kids started coming up to the park, and I would teach them how to hold the racket. I was still under the tutelage of Mr. Green, because as athletes, you get older, you play in. I would play in the adult league, and I would be on the traveling team. We'd go to Cincinnati, Detroit. We would get in cars
So
and
there
play
was a
tennis.
traveling tennis team?
A tennis team, yeah, with
Oh
Mookie
wow. Like
Berry,
like
and
AAU.
yeah, like an AAU team. And every Saturday, and they would pay for everything. I think I just had to bring $10 and to buy food or whatever, but they most of the time paid for our food, and we would play tennis all day long and drive back at night. We didn't stay all night.
Right.
I'm sure some of them did, but I was like, nah, I'm going back home at night. I ain't going home. I ain't doing nothing with y'all. See y'all later. I would drive my car to Detroit or whatever, or I would ride with, most of the time it was Mr. Green drive, and we would just go to Cincinnati. One
Mhm.
weekend we'd go outside of Winchester, Louisville. We would go up Louisville all the time and play on Chickasaw Park all the time with some of the best of them. So I played tennis all through high school, and then I played on up till I got to about 30 years old, and had my daughters, and they didn't want to play. Oh, it broke my heart. Mom, we don't want to play tennis with you. I had to bought them rackets. I was gonna be, you know.
Yes.
They quickly
Oh,
said no.
wow. Okay, now today, do
Yes,
they regret playing tennis, or because I know Lobby is a great, well, both of them did track and field.
yes.
and cheerleading, and they
Linda
both
taught
tumble and they
herself how
do
to
both.
pole
Yeah,
vault.
Linda, yeah. So did they never picked it up or felt or wish they would have the tennis now that they look back?
They said that they wish they could have picked it up just to play, but as far because I had them really, I was working with them when they was 3.
Because I bet they would have been a beat. They could have been the next Venus and
Venus
Serena.
and Serena. But they like, no, when your child said that they don't want to do it, you have to say, okay, I'm not going to push you into something that you don't want to do.
Because then they won't do their best at it. And then you'll be even madder because
yes,
they're not putting forth the effort. Oh yeah, absolutely. You can't.
Yeah, but when I started teaching Bobby, I was teaching swimming, and then let's see, Brent Cornett, his niece, I can't think of her name. Shoot, Soraya. She came over and she said, Miss Nietta, can I take your daughters and let them play basketball? I was like, yeah, let them play something because they don't need to be hanging out with me in the swimming pool all day long because they love to swim. Of course, that's what we did on Saturday, swim all day long. And Lobby loved it. She loved playing basketball. And I love sitting on the side and being the mom. I didn't know too much about basketball. I didn't like basketball. I'm sorry. I don't like when you bump me, I'm getting ready to fight.
Right.
So yeah, she really loved it. And she loved it. Was a good defensive player. She like went up and down the court stealing the ball. That's what she used to do all the time.
Yeah, it was fun watching her play.
Yeah. And Linda played, I think that's when I met you when Lobby was playing.
Yes,
playing ball.
That's when we met.
With the Angels.
At Bryan Station when was it with the Angels? Was it before that? Was the Angels?
It was the Angels. Because y'all used to play at the Y. And that's when Lobby started playing with them at the Y.
Yeah, before they even got to Bryan Station High
School.
Okay,
before they got to the middle school. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Wow.
Yeah. And then Linda swam on the team. She said she wanted to play soccer. So I was getting ready to sign her up. And she's like, you really gonna make, yeah, girl, you can play. You can do anything you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
What? Yeah. As long as I got athletes. I didn't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do if I had, little kids that wanted to
didn't want to participate in any type of sport.
Oh my God. I was like, whatever you want to do. So she ended up swimming in high school, and Lobby played, track and basketball, and then cheerleading. We all did cheerleading.
Right.
Yeah.
So when did Lobby cheer?
Lobby cheered with me from the time that she was second, when she was 2 years old, because she was our little mascot, until high school. She cheered high school team because she was doing 3 sports in high school.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out, how did she do cheerleading, track, and basketball?
She cheered with Don Walters in the high school, and then Don would let her, because Lobby's like, my love is basketball, because that's really what she wanted to do. She was on the
team, because usually cheerleading and basketball at the same time.
Yeah, so she played on the girls' basketball team,
and she would cheer for the
boys varsity team.
Oh, gotcha. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. And then she ran track just to condition.
Like playing 2 sports at the same time.
Yeah, it really was, because she'd play a sport. She'd play one first hour, they'd have the girls play ball, and then the guys would play. Then she'd cheer for the guys. And they were like, wait a minute, I just saw you on the basketball. She said, yeah, I'm doing a little bit of both.
And I'm crazy because I never even noticed her. I guess I don't know. I don't know how I never noticed that she did that.
Yeah. And she until she said, Ma, I can't do it no more. I'm like, baby, you ain't got to do it. Yeah. You do what do you. Yeah. And she thought I was going to be, no, you got to find you. That's the purpose, is for you to find what you want to do. And she's like, okay. And she looked at me and I said, bye. And she was like, you really going to let me leave? Yeah. Because you're going somewhere. I don't, you're choosing your path. And then Linda
that's what I love about coaches. Yes. Right. And coaches like you that don't give enough credit, because you have 2 daughters that are examples. Right. And so I'm just what I feel is what I think is because my children are an example of what success looks like, especially when they're playing. I just think sports is like the biggest things for kids. Sports saved my life. So that's why I'm always a proponent of sports, because it definitely saved my life. Right. And so someone like you that went through coaching other kids. I mean, you can't even count the number of kids you've coached.
Yeah.
over the years. What's it been? 30 years?
It's been 40
Longer?
years.
40
Yes.
years
40 years. I'm on my third generations of families now.
of families. Wow,
Hmm.
that's impressive. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
But I love it because now I can move over to a deeper, really, to be honest with you, I want to be a swim coach. I'm just that African American. And they're like, wait a minute, you can't coach that because you do so many. No, I'm ready to coach high school because most of my lifeguards, they're only lifeguards in the summertime, but they really want to compete. But they're like, if you're not going to coach it, then I ain't doing it. And so I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
and I'm saying it's crazy because I'm never good enough to be a coach, even though I've done it competitively. I've coached competitively in with
Okay,
Parks and Recreation.
let's talk about this.
Mhm.
What do you mean you're not good enough to coach?
Oh yeah, they when I applied for the job, well, I went to look for the job. You know how you find Brian? I'm looking at Brian Station because that's my love. That's where my athletes are. And he's like, well, we don't have positions open. It's something that you just kind of what they say, you don't have the experience for. And I'm like, no, because my athletes are already ready to get on your team. I had to actually coach a girl to get her on the blocks because nobody taught her how to dive from
Right,
the blocks to do
right.
freestyle last year because coach wouldn't teach her. I hate to talk about the coach,
Okay,
but
okay, so let me get some
back
clarification
up.
here.
Yeah.
Bryan Station has a swim team.
Yeah.
I
Has
did
a
not
swim
know
team.
that.
Brian
I
Station
did
has
not
had a swim
know that.
team. Oh, they've been having a swim. Belinda was on the swim team that was 10 years ago. So wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I had no idea.
they've had a swim team for umpteen years. A good
So
20.
how many schools in Fayette County has a swim team? Do all of them have one?
All of them have one. But you know what? I went to the swim meet. You know how many blacks you see on the swim team? I'm sorry, I hate to make this racial. You got one black on the swim team. Tates Creek, one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a couple of mixed kids on some of the other teams because I watched the
Wow.
swim meet and I went there because I was working with my lifeguard and she was like, Miss Knight, please help me on, please help. Everybody is jumping in the pool. Everybody's diving off the blocks. I need to learn how to dive off the. Took me maybe two times to work with her
But work with her and to get her. I
to
mean,
get her
it's
diving
just
off
like
the block.
coaching track.
Yeah.
I show up to a middle school track meet. I think 2 years ago because my son was playing baseball, so
Right.
I had stopped coaching track. And I go to a track meet, and it's like it's a sixth grade meet. First of all, they weren't doing sixth grade meets when I was coaching, so that was something
Right.
new, and they
Right.
had no clue. They had no clue. I was coaching kids on how to jump and just different stuff, and I was like, oh my God! I was like, what is this? Is why we can't never get why we can't win nothing when our kids go to high school
Uh-huh.
because they're not learning nothing in middle school or in the developmental
And developmental
stages.
years.
Yeah, in the
Hmm.
developmental years, right? And so, oh my goodness, oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So you got me excited. So what we
Yeah.
got to do? Okay, so is there an AAU swim? So have you thought about just doing your own? Okay, so we have like the
Oh yeah.
Lexington Blazing Cats, like the track team. So have you thought about doing your own AAU swim team?
Most definitely. That's up on the agenda for this next year because Mr. Briscoe and he's a former lifeguard from Douglas Pool. We do everything together because he used to swim at Bryan Station in the 70s. Yes. Yeah. He was on the Bryan Station swim team. And so because he's been on the swim team, he knows how all the strokes and all that stuff, still swims like a fish today. And we're gonna create that team again for the third time. See, we coached Castlewood swim team back in 2003, and then right before COVID, we was killing it. Oh, we was killing it with Parks and Recreation, with our athletes. We was gonna tear it up, and then COVID happened. So that means 3 years off. But now we're ready. We're gonna be ready this year. We're gonna be working with some indoor teams in indoor facilities. Yeah, we're gonna kill it. But I just
So
hate the fact that they can't.
where are the indoor facilities? Oh, and the
Uh,
why?
you got indoor facilities at UK, you got a Transylvania, You got Georgetown Pavilion in Georgetown, Kentucky. That's why I
Oh,
do
that's
all
an
my.
indoor. I didn't know that was an
They
indoor
have an
facility.
indoor facility. Yes. And you
Okay.
got the YMCAs all over
Mhm.
Lexington. And they know me because I've been Y certified lifeguard all these
Right.
years. I just try
Right.
to keep all my certifications stacked up because
Oh, definitely keep your certifications up. Yes.
in case they say
Yeah.
something.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to,
Yeah,
because they're
you
always
got
going to say
to.
something. They're always going to
Yeah.
say something because
And
they're
so
always going to question why you're there. It's a shame that it's 2023 and
yes.
a Black coach can't get a swim coaching job because of the stigma. I mean, it's just like me coaching football.
Right. I was so proud of you when I was like, yes, yes, sister's
It's
right
just like
in
me coaching
there.
football. Yeah. Oh my God. Like
Yes.
that's the reason why I even we my co-host and I, Danny, created Hits and Heels was because we were just having conversations all the time, and our conversations just got so deep. We was like, oh, this could turn into a podcast, and we just made it happen. We just
I'm
feel like
glad.
there's voices like yours that just need to be heard, and they are not being heard.
Yeah.
And just awareness to stuff, just the awareness. And this is one thing that I think that even for Black folks, especially for Black women, we don't like to swim because we don't want to get our hair
Our
wet.
hair. Right. Right.
And
Right.
so I think someone created a swim cap for Black women
There
to keep
is.
to keep our hair from getting wet. And so
Yes.
we just need to make the investment because I'm totally big into the health and wellness. And
Mhm.
I know for a fact that swimming is probably the best
It is. Condition.
exercise that you
It.
could do because it gives you your cardio at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, and then it's less evasive on your joints, like you said.
It's right. It is. And now you got so many African American women wearing their hair natural. Like right now, I got my hair because it's the weather. It's getting
Mm-hmm.
cold, so it's easy for me to wear my hair flat iron. But most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing my hair natural, so I'm in the pool all the time.
No time. Mm-hmm.
Because the chlorine messes with your hair, but you got to keep that conditioner in there in your
Mm-hmm.
hair. So we're taking better care of our hair now, and so that now you can swim, you can be on,
Now you can
on the team,
swim
swim team and
and yeah,
everything.
not really worry about it. Like because we are going more natural with our hair. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
which is very
Yeah.
helpful now. It's more healthier for us.
Mm-hmm.
But we still have Black women know how to create some locks and some braids, and oh man, it just amazes me how we have different styles. Every year we come out with something different, better than before.
We're always really creative.
And then we
Okay,
got
so
this weave going on.
I want to talk about, girl. I want to talk about you.
Okay.
Okay, so 40 years.
40 years of
40
coaching.
years of coaching. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
what was your first team? Was tennis?
My first sport was tennis.
Your
And then I
sports?
kept tennis until I was 30. But in between that time, I was teaching swim lessons, and I went back to, because I wasn't a traditional college student. So I went to school for 3 years, and I was able to get kicked out of EKU. It took me 3 years to flunk out because I didn't know that, I didn't know how to be a bad student. I'm so used to going to classes and all that stuff. So it took me 3 years. I was a junior when I finally got kicked out of EKU, and I was so happy. And then, of course, 2 years later, I went and finished up my degree in physical education, and I had to take a class to swim. It's a swimming class, and I was like, "Oh, this will be a piece of cake." And I got in the water, and the coach looked, and he jumped up out of his chair. He said, "Where'd you learn how to swim like that?" I said, "In the pool at the Douglas pool." And he didn't know where Douglas pool was, and he's like, "Wait a minute, I've never seen a swimmer like you before." And he started making me stay after class to
Okay.
swim extra laps. And I was like, "Why are you making me swim
Why?
extra laps? I don't want to do this. I got to get back home. I'm an adult. I got to work." He said, "Look, I'm trying to get you a job. I'm trying to train you how to swim so you don't have to worry about your life is going to be so much easier later on." I said, "But I don't want to do it. I want to, I want to be a physical education teacher. I want to,
Mhm.
move on with my life." He said, "No, this is your niche. This is your niche." He saw something in me I didn't see myself. So he taught me all the strokes except for the butterfly, because I told him I'm not doing all that. I don't have no need to do the butterfly. And then he taught me the breaststroke with no problem. I learned that like in a day, just that first day. And he was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And he made me swim like 4 laps. And I was like, what is wrong with you? And I was mad at him, like, what is wrong with you? There's got to be, I'm getting ready to go to the board on you because you making me stay. He said, I'm telling you, they're just going to make me keep doing what I'm doing. I know what I know. He said, I'm going to be dead and gone, and you're going to be teaching your community how to swim. You not know who you are. And I said, obviously you do. You know, I was a smart mouth one. And he made me get my first aid CPR. He made me get everything in American Red Cross. And I was like, Coach, he said, look, had I known you earlier, because I was in my 30s.
Right.
He said, had I known you any earlier, I would have made you be on my swim team. He said, I don't know how you got away with it. He said, but you getting ready to change the world. And I looked at him.
I love it.
And then after that, after I left him, then everybody, you know, I started teaching, you know, staying into swimming, getting my WSI, because he made me get my WSI back then. And then I met Terry Wilkerson, and it was over, because she was like, look, you can do all this. She gave me the extra, you know, I guess it was like
there's always somebody that influences you. So, so the coach from EKU and Terry Wilkerson were your two biggest.
Terry Wilkerson, I got a job at the YMCA and health as a health and fitness instructor. That's how I met Cisco. And after that, I met Terry because she was the aquatics director. I was a health and fitness director after Cisco. And then she was like, look, you got to stay with me. We're gonna be together until. And then she started. Yeah. And so she's the only one that keeps certifying me. Every year I go to her. I'm just like, okay, let's get in this water. Let's do what we got to do. And she's got to keep her certifications up. I keep my certifications up. And we just train Kentucky. We go, you know, she goes around and certifies instructors, because she's an instructor trainer.
Gotcha.
She certifies now that I'm an instructor of swimming. She's certified. She's over top of me. She's instructor of the instructors. She is the.
Gotcha. So she's the top dog as far as making sure all the instructors across the state are certified.
And she's hard. She stays on you. Look, you not do it again. Do it again. And that's what makes I'm like, no, do it again. Because that's the only way I know, is because the way she taught me. So yeah, that's my girl. She's like, I don't care, Night. I guess we're gonna be dying in the water. Yeah, we sure are. I'll see you next year. So every October in the wintertime, I'm swimming just to keep my certifications up. Okay. Which is what I love to do anyway.
Okay. Well, Coach Eric Hagan, the head baseball coach of Bryan Station High School, said big hug from Coach Hagan. And he says he loves that woman.
Yes, we share some kids together. Yes, I do. I love
Coach Hagan is our dude. I call him my baby daddy.
He keeps shoot. You see him in action, them kids is not gonna mess with him.
Yeah, he and Cisco are like best friends.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Oh yeah, they are.
We give each other hugs every day. Went up there, he said, "Girl, I didn't know you knew how to do all that swimming and stuff." Yeah, I see. He watches me and I watch him, because he is a good person. He really is.
Oh, absolutely, yes, absolutely. So so we're gonna get our AAU.
Yes, we are. With Connie,
team.
with Connie, Connie Rayford. She's the one, we're working on it. We're getting it all together. When they open up Douglas Pool, we're going to be ready. Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
My daughter Jalen started swim lessons. And I don't know how I didn't know. She's so mad she was mad at me about over the summertime, because she started going swim lessons and she was scared. And she was like, why didn't you make me do swim lessons when I was younger? I said, girl, I don't even know.
Right. Probably because you're so busy.
Because I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing just such other stuff that I just couldn't, like, I'm mad that I didn't get her into softball and swimming.
Yeah.
And get her to learn how to swim. But I just couldn't never. I don't know. I just couldn't never figure, I just.
Well, you was doing so many other things, and you was
mom that it was just hard to just manage all of it to get all that in. But she is mad at me that I did not make her take swim lessons when she was younger. And so I have a couple of coworkers that they got like babies, like 1, 2 years old, that are
Mhm.
already learning how to swim. And that is
Yeah.
just so amazing to me.
Yeah, I teach those too, especially in the summertime. I teach the babies in the and outside. I really love teaching outside. And then I don't really teach the babies at the Y. The younger girls teach the babies. I really like working on stroke mechanics in the wintertime because that keeps my swimming skills up. When they're swimming, they have to swim with me, on the laps, when they get
Mhm.
down there. So I like doing that with them. But the babies, that's is you can really get them in as long as you don't have a baby in the winter time. If you have a baby in around May, you can really get
Mhm.
them swimming at an early, in
Mm.
months, because they're so used to the placenta.
Oh, okay.
They're used to that environment.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's how I taught my second child. She loves the pool. Woo! She's swimming on her back when she was 2 months. Loving
Linda
it.
was.
Yeah, because we
That
we
is
would take the cheerleaders
crazy.
when we had camps and stuff. When we would travel, she would they would put her in the pool, and I'd be on the side working with somebody else's child. She'd be swimming her whole back without nobody. And so we have to watch her because she gets to
Right.
swimming. Yeah, yeah, she loves swimming, and we
Oh my
just
goodness. I
every
love
time
it.
we travel, we would always make sure we
So
had a swimming pool so we'd swim.
so you
Hmm.
did tennis, swimming, cheerleading.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about the cheerleading because
Okay.
I'm seeing Lobby doing all these flip. You teach them how to flip and all of that stuff. Like, so how you learn all the tumbling and flips? Did you learn that from Dawn?
Okay, no, I didn't. Dawn, when I met Dawn, she was at the YMCA. No, YWCA. I don't know if you remember, there
Okay.
used to be a YWCA. And
Oh no, I don't remember
my
that. That's
cheerleading
back in.
coach with Parks and Recreation was Barbara Koch. Do you know Barbara Koch?
No.
She's a coach at Tate's Creek. She is
Okay.
now, she's still, I've got to meet her sometime this year. I was looking for her last year, but she's one of the coaches. She does the KHSA, the high school. She does that. She's one of the uh the field managers for track, but she was a track team coach. She always coached at Tate's Creek. And so when she was in her 20s, she was a Parks and Recreation cheerleading coach. And my mom took me to Southland, and I was there last night. Southland football. She wouldn't let me cheer at Douglas Park because they didn't have any cheerleaders at Douglas Park.
Mm.
So she would take me all the way over to Southland Park with Juan Stout, and he would cheer. He would play football, and I would be on his cheerleading team because his mom and my mom were best friends, sisters. So I would cheer out at Southland because they had cheerleading squads, and Ann liked the fact that after the season that we would get to go to Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, and Florida to just to compete with the other teams. So
Mm-hmm.
it gave us a joy, like a side vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So I met Barbara Koch being on the All-Star cheerleading team. Of course, I made the All-Star cheerleading team, and I was the only African American girl that could make the team, the traveling team. And in the wintertime, she would teach tumbling. And she talked to my mom about me taking classes and learning how to do flips. And my mom was like, "Really? Where? I don't have that money, to do all that." And she said, "If you give me a year with that girl, I will teach her how to do flips." She taught me how to do four row straddle, and all that stuff from the very basic. And she told me, you're gonna learn how to do this so you can take this back to your community.
Right.
So she taught me all the basics of gymnastics, all the beam bars and floor and vault, all that stuff we
Mm-hmm.
learned at the YMCA. And that's when I met Dawn, because Dawn, her mom, took her to the YWCA. And we still didn't travel in the same circles because I could only do it for that 1 year. And then my mom's actually saw me doing more things because I was really good on the other balance beam and the uneven bars. And she said, "I'm gonna give you 1 more year, and that's all, because I don't have no money to be spending on no gymnastics." And I was like, "Okay." And I think I was in a fifth grader. And then that next year, I made it the gymnastics team at Leestown. And the coach started working with me. And
Easttown had a gymnastics
a
team.
gymnastics team. Yes. Back in
Oh
the
my
day.
God. So
I
when's the
know.
last time a Fayette County middle school has had a gymnastics team? Does any of the high schools have a gymnastics team?
Yeah, they had yeah, because see, that's what I did. After I did gymnastics at Leestown, competitively, I met Trina Arnold because she was the only first Black girl. And we looked at each other. And, Trina was awesome. Trina would run down there and do her flips and stuff. And I was like, oh my God. And we looked at each other and we met each other. And she was younger than me. So she was I think she was at Taste Creek. I was at Leestown. And that's when I seen Leslie play basketball. So we the three of us kind of met each other playing basketball. But then of course, we had to go our separate ways. But that was a setup because they didn't want all of us on the same teams. And then Dawn was always 2 years younger than me. She didn't cheer at Leestown until after I left. Then I went to Bryan Station and was on the gymnastics team at Bryan Station. I didn't cheer my first year. And then the cheerleading coach came to me and she said, Miss Compton, oh, you gonna try out. You gonna try it on my team. And I looked at her and said, who are these people coming up to me talking to me like this? I said, right. I may try out if I feel like it.
Right.
I might try out, but you're not gonna make me do nothing. Miss Compton, yes, you are. You're gonna get on the cheerleading squad because you're doing all that flipping. And she must have talked to Coach Barber. And he's like, well, she'll decide what she wants to do. I'm not gonna make her. And I think I did cheerleading and gymnastics. And then I chose cheerleading over gymnastics because I had never done it. I did it in, Parks and Rec. And I was doing back walkovers and back handsprings. And I think I might have had a round off back handspring, but it wasn't really strong. Don Duncan could really tumble. And so her and Trina was the tumblers. And then I cheered on both the JV and the varsity squad at Bryan Station. And I really liked cheerleading. I was like, well, shoot, I should have did this a lot, sooner. But, I tried out for the cheerleading squad, but then I didn't make it one year. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. If right. I'm used to being positive. So I'm like, no, you're not going to take me. Then I'm going to go on to the next sport.
Yeah.
And then after I went to EKU and I was still doing swimming and tennis, I said, well, let me pick up cheerleading and see if I can coach the cheerleaders, get me a Black cheerleading squad. And then I started getting my little Black cheerleading kids from the neighborhood, take them up to the park. And I was like, well, I think I'm going to teach y'all how to tumble. Nigel Wigginton and all, I can't even think of some of them. I can't think of, Lady Cornett and her little sister. And I just started teaching them, no matter what, y'all gonna learn how to tumble and cheer. And then I started just teaching tumbling in the neighborhood at the shelters. That's how it started. And they started tumbling. So that's how. Oh my
God, I love it. So I need to. So next time you see Mary Hughley, make sure you let her know I'm going to be reaching out to her for her to come on here because I love.
And she's one of my girls too. Cause see, I seen her at the shopping center, and I asked her mom. I said, "Is there any way I can let her get on my cheerleading squad and let me work with her with tumbling and stuff?" Because I was teaching gymnastics in the elementary schools. I would go with Parks and Recreation and teach gymnastics, and that's how I met Mary. She used to cheer for me, and she cheered at Kentucky State too. So you need to get in contact with her. She's got a good story to tell. Mm-hmm.
Does she? Oh yeah, I can't wait. Well, I just love what she's doing with is it Upgrade? Yes. I love what she's doing with the competitiveness that she's doing there. I absolutely love that. So I definitely will reach out to her to get her on here, and I can't wait to hear her story. So, oh girl. So what? Tell me something that you've been wanting to talk about publicly about your story. Is there anything that people don't know about you that people need to know?
I think I want people to know that when you have something when you see other kids not having the opportunities, because see, I had the opportunity to go into gymnastics because my mama carried me over to Southland, and I never saw myself. And then I brought it back to my community as was told by my coaches before me. And they were like, no, do it.
So
Don't
these
wait
are
for
white
somebody else
coaches
to do it.
telling you to go back and take it back to take these skills to
Yeah.
back to your community.
Yeah,
Oh
Barbara
my
Cope told me. Yeah, she worked with Parks and
goodness.
Recreation, and she said, "You take this back because if you can do this, people in your community." She didn't care what color you were.
I
She's just like,
love it.
and she was really could care less. And I
Right.
brought some people
But
to
there's
her.
not a whole lot that are like that.
No, but it just I was able to each time I did cheerleading. Tennis was not that way. I had to stay. I was myself with tennis. I didn't have nobody really working with me with tennis until in high school. When I was in high school at the state meet, then I meet Mr. Green, and he kept
Okay.
walking around the court. And finally, I went to the fence, and I was like, "Can you please quit walking around? Because you distracted me. I couldn't play tennis because he's walking around and talking to me. He's like, would you please concentrate on what you're doing?" I was like, "Oh Lord, this man." And then afterwards, at the end, then I finally got with him. But yeah, if you can find yourself as an athlete, there's something that you want to do it. But not only that, pick up. If you see a child that you can coach them. Don't just let them haphazardly go through without getting the training that you can give them as a former athlete. And I've always
But
been that way. I've always wanted to share my talents with other people.
Are parents in this era open to somebody else coaching their kids though?
No, not all of them, because especially they don't trust them, and you can't teach my child. A lot of times you still have parents that really don't trust. The trust is still not there, and I guess it's understandably so. You get these coaches that want to come and they say they don't what is it, scout, but they do scout, and they take these kids over on the other side of town, and you do have to be leery of that now. You got more of that going on than before.
They're just all about the wins, and they're not about the development of the kids,
Right,
or
they
what's
not.
best for the kids. Because the only thing that of course, I'm not going to mention no names or nothing like that.
Right.
The only problem I have are the coaches that I don't understand how a young man, whether it's football, basketball, or whatever, you see their skill set at an early age, whether it's in elementary school or middle school or whatever like that, right? As parents and coaches, how do you not make sure they got their grades?
Right. I mean, we had 3.
How do you not make sure that they're getting good grades? Why do you let them get away with being that good, but not taking care of their business in the classroom?
Right. Or helping them if that they can't read, getting a tutor for them. I mean, I love my boy Melvin Turpin, but to me, they used him just for his, and I knew what type of person he was. Because somebody should have been working with him on his educational needs, his academic needs. But no, they just used him all the way through college, and then he realized, well, dang, that's all I am is, good enough for sports.
Am as a basketball player. And then when that's taken away, because it doesn't last forever.
Right.
Well, certain sports don't last forever. Like football. Okay, so swimming, you can swim for the rest of your life, right? You can pick up tennis. You can go play tennis. You can still play softball at a like football. Once that's over, that's over. There ain't no pick up tackle football anyway.
And
right?
Flag football is just
flag football don't count. I mean, I'm not downgrading flag football. They just added it to the Olympics for the next Olympics.
Oh, they did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just added flag football to the next Olympics, right? And so I'm not downgrading, but tackle football, once you're done, you're done.
Yeah,
you're
a lot of times.
And if that's all you are, and that's what you identify with, that's just tough. I think one of the things, I had a conversation with a friend a couple days ago. I majored in business and I minored in psychology. I wish 30 years ago I knew to major in psychology, because right now, today, I would be a sports psychologist.
Yeah, yeah, because they need that. They
So badly, so
yeah.
bad. Because most of the time the game is mental. No matter what sport it is, the game is mental,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I would love to be a mental game coach. But oh yeah, but
Oh
you are
yeah.
so right about. Oh girl, your story is absolutely amazing. I knew it was good, but I had no idea.
And then
And that was the
wh-
point.
one thing I want to say is, my biggest height is when I had my cheerleading gym, and we would take the athletes, the cheerleaders. It really wasn't about cheerleading. It was about teaching them how to get on an airplane and fly and go wherever you want to go in life and come back home and realize you went somewhere. And when we took them, like, because we would take them to LA, we take them to Florida, we would take them to Washington, D.C., we take them to South Carolina, Louisiana. We traveled all over the United States. Every time we went somewhere, every state we went to, okay, y'all, we getting ready to go to the hood today. We got to find out where our roots are in every city. We didn't just stay, we stayed in the regular places. When I say places that we could economically go to, but we made sure that we visited a hood so that when you get older, you don't get yourself all caught up in having all this high life, but learn how to go back to where your roots are. Know where your people live when you travel. So that, and now my cheerleaders are all over the world now, going different places because they traveled when they were kids, and their parents are not scared enough to get on the airplane and travel and make that connection. It was like 50 of us traveling. So
I think well, I'm a military brat, and so I kind of grew up different than
travel.
most people because I did travel
Mm-hmm.
at a young age. And I think it does broaden your horizon because when you grow up in your city, it looks just like this.
Yeah,
Right? It's
small.
so
Yeah.
small. But when you get out and you go venture out and you go see other places, the world becomes so much bigger, and
Yeah.
your
You can
mindset
dream.
is
Right.
expanded because you
Mm-hmm.
could be like, like my daughter, she was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Girl, I'm getting up out of Kentucky," but
Right.
there's so many people and so many friends that were so afraid to leave here because they don't
Leave.
know anything else.
Right.
Whereas she's used to, we have no family here, so we always were having to travel and go
Right.
somewhere. So and so that experience alone probably has taken so many of your students. It has probably helped generations because
Yes.
you're able to now take on that mindset
Mm-hmm.
and be able to give it to the next generation. As far
Mm-hmm.
as just being able to, don't limit yourself.
Right.
You're so it's so much higher or so much bigger than what you see here on the surface area in just little old Lexington, Kentucky. If
That's
you don't
right.
want to stay here, and if what your ambitions isn't here, don't be
Go
scared to
somewhere
just pick
else.
up and just go someplace else and start a new life somewhere else, right? And so,
Yes.
oh my God, that is
We did it.
so good. That's
And
good.
we
That's
changed a
good stuff.
lot. And we were, it was beautiful because some of them, I got nurses that are living in Atlanta. I got people living in Africa. You know, I got people traveling back and forth to Europe and Spain, and I'm like, hey, I'm with you. Constantly doing stuff, making changes in the world. Yeah, it was a beautiful, wonderful thing. But yeah, that
That
era,
changing lives is huge.
it
And that's what
is.
it's all about. That's what it's all about is changing lives, especially in our community. And so you have brought the swimming is huge because
It
there's a stigmatism that Black people don't swim.
ah, well, you'll
For
see
one.
it this year, honey. We got kids swimming laps, kids diving, kids. Douglas Pool's gonna really be huge this year because of the things that we've been doing for the last 5 to 10 years, making sure that our community is not all Black. It's Hispanic. It's Congolese. It's Africa. It's
I love the
Caucasian.
diversity.
It is beautiful over there.
I love the diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Awesome.
So don't you teach a class for the elderly?
I teach. I have an 80-year-old lady. I teach her, and we have our Sunday class. Of course, we're going to have more classes this coming summer. But yeah, we have adult classes every Sunday. We're going to be having probably 3 days a week now in June that we're going to offer, because people work during the week. Some people work in the mornings, and some people work in the evenings. So we're going to hopefully be able to reach out to more adults this year.
Now, what is your adult class? It's just a swimming class. What is it?
It's a basic, next year we're gonna offer two type. If you're an experienced swimmer and you want to work on swimming laps, we'll have a class for that. But if you've never swam before, if you're scared, or you've just had a bad experience, then you'll get in the beginner class. So we're going to offer 2 classes this coming summer. That's going to be fun too. And then we're going to offer some teenage fitness classes taught by Lobby. We're going to be having some teenage classes, so get our kids more healthier, playing their music.
Because you gotta start the lifestyle early.
Yeah, you got to change it.
Because once you get to our age, the hormones change, and it is so difficult.
It is
to get the weight off, but most of it is just lifestyle change, as far as just how you eat, and then you're exercising. Yeah, I'm surprised you're not skinny mini with all the swimming.
No, it's what I like to eat, honey. It's my diet. I got to work on it, and I am reaching out. I'm working with the dietitian because I'm not that young girl anymore. So I've got to work at. I don't have to do cardio as much. I do more strengthening, and I worry about my diet. The proteins. I have to have more proteins, less, carbs. I don't need that anymore because I'm not doing all that. I don't need that type of energy, but I've got to have the right combinations. That's why I got to get me a nutritionist that's going to work with my individual needs.
Right. So have you talked to, is there a difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian?
Yeah, a dietitian is a person that really can look at your stuff and clinically help you with your food intake. So
I know a dietitian.
That's what I'm looking for. And I'm working with Resolve. Resolve has some dietitians that work on the amount that you eat, the time that you eat it. See, those, because I know I'm eating wrong. I just need somebody I need to create a log and really be able to take myself away from that, because I don't want to be that broke down person at the age of 70 or 80. I want to live to be 103. I can't be eating all this stuff. I can only eat it in moderation now. Yeah, but I've also got to work with somebody that's going to say, look, we're going to do this. Because, I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube. You got some 62-year-old women that got bodies bumping,
Girl, when I seen Victoria Gay a couple weeks ago, I said, girl,
she's still
but she used to be a bodybuilder as well too, so she still keeps up that.
Yeah, she knows how to eat, and I didn't. I ain't been eating right. That's my problem. I love my cookies and stuff. I got to push away from it. Only have them like once a month. But I gotta work with somebody like that. That's what they. And the African American diet is horrible.
It's horrible.
And you can't.
Horrible.
No, you really can't.
But even our government sets us up for failure, because there's so many things that's in our foods and in our products and stuff that's bad for you, and it's legal here, but illegal over in other countries. Right. And so our government sets us up too. And then I think the whole BMI thing about our body measurement, whatever,
mass index.
And so I heard that was based off of a 35-year-old white man.
Exactly.
And it hasn't been changed in how many years? Right. And so it just does not apply to us. And so when we go to the doctor and they're basing that's why so many of us have diabetes, and they're putting us on medication, or we got high blood pressure, or because you're basing it off of a standard that doesn't apply.
Yes.
It doesn't apply to us.
And then they want to give us medicine and things because that helps the pharmaceutical companies, which helps the doctors. So, but it doesn't help you because you're kicking out the money, so it's set up for failure.
It's set up for failure.
We used to, my grandmama had a whole garden. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
We need to go
And
back
we
to
need to go
gardening.
back to that. We need to go back to growing our own foods
Yeah.
and that, because otherwise we're in trouble. We're in
So
trouble.
that's
So
my that's
girl, I
mhm.
have enjoyed you
I have, yes.
today. Oh
You know,
my
we could talk and
goodness.
talk
It's
anyway.
already been 54 minutes. It's already been almost an hour already. Just that quick. It
Yes.
went by so fast.
It has been a joy. It's been joy. It's
So
been a
I
joy
appreciate you.
seeing your
Yeah.
journey and being a part of. It's just a beautiful, wonderful world that we live in. We just got to reach out and constantly keep moving. You know, that's what it's about.
We just got to reach out and constantly keep moving, and we got to constantly, y'all, you got to, so you got to bring people, like you mentioned a couple of people today. I don't know them, right? And so
Okay.
those are people that probably needs to be brought to everybody's attention. And so I
Yes.
would like to be able to be that catalyst of bringing people, like more people like you.
Yeah, because
People like you are unsung heroes. You guys are legend. You guys are legends, and need to be recognized for what you do in the community, and what you have done for generations of people. Period.
well, I thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to be on your show and your podcast. And this has been a great experience for me today. And thank you so much for giving me my flowers right now before anything
Absolutely. Give
happens.
your flowers now, child.
That's right. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna
Yes.
we're gonna log off when I end the live stream. You don't have to log off, so we'll chat it up some
Okay.
more. But I am gonna go ahead and end the live stream today, guys. Thank you all for coming on. I want to thank Coach Nietta Gerton for being on and being our special guest and enlightening us of how great she is and how much of an influence she has been on our community. And you guys can subscribe to Hits and Heels. Go to YouTube at Hits and Heels. And we're also on Facebook Live. So you guys can rewatch this on YouTube. You can also rewatch it on Facebook. I appreciate you. Oh, next week. Ooh, I got two. So let me tell y'all next week. Next week I have Leslie Nichols will
Yes,
be
my girl
on
Leslie.
next week. She is a legend. So she is a
Yeah.
Kentucky Hall of Famer, but she's also a Hall of Famer with the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame. And then the following week, I'm bringing your daughter Lobby on.
Okay, the hotel lobby. Okay, my
So the
baby.
hotel lobby will be on. And so I love, she is a personal trainer. And so we're gonna talk health and wellness. We're gonna talk fitness. I wore my little pink today because October is breast cancer awareness month. And guys, please, prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. Go swim, go exercise, go change your diet, go find a dietitian, go find a nutritionist, go find a personal trainer, and do whatever you need to do to be healthy. And that's it for tonight. And we're Hits and Heels, and I am logging off. And I will see you guys next week as we bring on Miss Leslie Nichols Carter next week. All right, I love y'all. Thank you.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.